Hi friends, Alessandra here. We're in the basement. Our little worms, what's left of them, have been here. It's only just about 60 in the basement. It's about 60, a little bit higher in bin one. But I figured we've let them sit here. There's lots and lots of layers of moving blankets on top, so they're not getting any light in there, or very minimal, if any. So hopefully they've warmed up. They're comfortable-ish. But now we really need to start opening the bins up, letting some air go in there, because there's so much mold, I would imagine, from all of that moisture in there. So it's time to start checking on them. Now, the puppies are at their friend's house today, so I know they can't get into it. Not that I think they would, but it's easier. Also, for context, these are all blankets. I got layered up on here. So many blankets. I'm gonna just slide this. Maybe. In this moment, because we just took the blankets off, potentially there's still some worms on the side, but I wanted to just get this shot of what they look like now, because I suspect in a couple months we're going to come back and we're not going to see a lot of this paper. Hopefully we're going to see some castings. We're going to maybe even put some food on the corners or something, so we can see when we take the blankets off for a few minutes how they look. But yeah, let's get them moved around. Now, all three of the bins, this is the guy I just moved, all three of the bins, when I opened them, I checked the top here, because this was dry paper that we put in to help absorb some of the extra moisture, and it's all some level of damp, like there is no doubt about it. But there's also somehow a fly, which is incredible at these temperatures, but I guess not shocking given the moisture level. I don't really want to fuss with these guys, but I do want to worry about the moisture levels in here. So, not great, but I think it needs to air out a little bit, just given how much moisture we know is in here. Bin one, I don't think is as much of an issue, because that was at the top where it was in theory more dry. I'm just gonna stick my hand down here. The 8 cartons that we put at the bottom are slightly damp. All of this is slightly damp. It's got enough where you touch it, there's moisture. Some of the stuff in here is very much still wet. Like, this is definitely still wet, but it does have a little bit of a smell to it. Not a lot, but a little bit. So I think for this guy, I will probably just, do one of these where we put the cover on, and that way they're not getting the direct sun from the top, and they might be getting a little bit of light from the edges and the perimeter, but I'll turn these runner lights off once we're done recording. I'm not expecting much out of bin 2 and bin 3 other than maybe moisture management at this point, because we really weren't sure if there was stuff in here. So this isn't actually that bad. Okay. Well, all the same, I'll probably just leave it cracked for a day or so. I'll leave all of them cracked for a day or two just to air out a little bit. Then I think we'll probably seal them up for like a week or so at a time, and then maybe once a week or so, maybe when the puppies are at their play date, we'll open them back up, let them air out for the day, and close them back up, because I don't think there's enough of anything going on in here to warrant having them getting big fresh air vents all the time. I'm not going to drill into these buckets at this point. There's just not enough reason. Bin 3, this is the one that was soaking stuff that we were like, there's probably nothing in here, but it was the wettest portions, and it is definitely noticeably wetter than the other two. So I will add some more paper to the top of this. Look at these guys. I just pulled them out of bin 3. How amazing is that? They were on the sides. I didn't think there was hope for bin 3 that much, but we're gonna put these in one, let them hang out with their people. Our little Wormingtons. So that's really exciting. That at least there was something alive in bin 3. Maybe not a ton, but the moisture levels are much more noticeable here. So we have the extra dry paper we just put on top. We'll just do one of these, leave them kind of venting for today, and then later on when the puppies get back, I will seal them back up. I would love to know from you guys, how much air do you think we need to make sure these guys get? We're in the basement. It's very comfortable from a temperature point of view, so they're not likely to overheat. I doubt they'll get above 65 in here in their bins, but they'll still be comfortable in the upper 50s, low 60s. Yeah, I don't think we need to drill in these. As long as we just open them up every so often, I think they're going to be okay. And I think they'll be even better once we get the moisture management under control. You know, bin 1 is actually in a better spot than I thought it was going to be. Side note, not to like compound the issue because I don't know how they would get here, but I was thinking about getting some European night crawlers and starting them in a bin next to these guys. Like just get a small amount, like we probably think there's what, 250, maybe if we're lucky 500 worms in there, which I really doubt. So if I got a small batch of European night crawlers, got another bin, put them next to it, I kind of want to know like what would happen. Only because these are red wrigglers, or you know, mostly red wrigglers are from Uncle Jim's worm farm. But if I got like just European night crawlers that are potentially more comfortable in the cooler temperatures, how would they do? Especially if we just kind of like what if we put them in bin 3, you know, something like that, where we know there's probably not a ton of the other worms in there. I don't know what would happen. All right, friends, well, the worms are clearly, at least 5 of them are alive. So I'm gonna turn the lights off and let them get a little bit more comfortable over here, let them air out, but there's hope. Bye, friends.